Three, two, one. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Overwatch Bot League. We are in Season 3, Day 3, and we're going to be coming up to some pretty interesting matches here. We had a really exciting day yesterday, really close games. Let's take a look at the bracket here. You can see yesterday we had Junkatech versus the Clankers, which was a very cool reverse sweep for Junkatech, coming back from 2-0, winning 3-2. And then we had Broken Planet versus Llama's Pajamas, which was not as close. The individual matches were still pretty interesting. But today we have Phreaks versus Skycode and Synth Lotus versus Duckling Crossing. Should be some pretty interesting matches. Take a look at the rosters for each team here. As you can see, Skycode has EMP, Interrupt, Opera, Wisp, and Ragdoll. Any thoughts about these players, Hazel?
I know for a lot of these players, they're more like they're definitely excited to get into the game for sure. I can say that.
Yeah.
I will say that it does seem like they're a little more dive centric than our previous players. So it'll
Yes.
be interesting to see how these go down.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting actually because it's a dive team, very hard for the bots to play, and they're going to be actually playing against Freaks, which have two players that were previously in the bot league. You might remember some of these players like Hazza, Tyler, Oxford, and Clockwork were all on different teams last season. So they have a bit of experience, so it's going to be pretty intimidating, I would imagine, to play dive into such an experienced team.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, with the new I've never met I've never seen these players in their prime. So we'll see
right.
how this goes when they're like interacting with each other. It'll be really interesting to see how that team chemistry develops.
Yeah.
But it should be interesting.
Yeah. And looks like our first map is going to be Nepal. I don't think we've seen this one on Bot League before. This is not like a super popular map. Um, yeah, I think this is one that like you just don't see in pro play a lot. Most people just go Lijiang Tower or Ilios.
Yeah. I will say this map, it's a little different. Whenever I'm playing on this map, I have different vibes just from any other control map.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely is like I don't know. It feels like a map where you have to think about what you're doing a lot because it's just the layout is so complex compared to something like Lijiang Tower, where it's like you get two flank lanes and a center lane.
Right.
Uh,
It feels definitely very reminiscent of the control or flashpoint maps.
yeah, definitely. But here we go. Skycode versus Freaks. Looks like both teams running a dive comp. You see the Winston and Doomfist. I mean, what are your thoughts on the Genji versus Tracer? Like, into these specific comps, which flex TPS do you think is going to perform better?
Honestly, I have put some thought into this. It's interesting because Genji has his climb ability and Tracer is only she only has her horizontal access.
Right.
So, but this map doesn't really have a lot of verticality, so I think Tracer will shine a little more.
Yeah. As you say, that three members of Skycode fall off the map. We see Tracer blinks off, Kiri TPs to the Tracer, and Doomfist just punches off. So, interesting first fight, I guess. Not really sure what the plan was there, but you can see the members of
Interrupt as
Skycode.
the final man standing.
Yeah, he does kill the Genji. Ends up clutching it for the team. And Freak's gonna try and retake quickly before the Doomfist can get back. Lucio's gonna ferry the Curie and the Tracer, but Winston has just kind of dominating the point, making a lot of space for his team. Opera blinks off the map. Interrupt and Wisp go down, and it looks like Flip is gonna come through for the Freaks. And Clockwork falls off the map.
Not making much use of that verticality.
Yeah.
Um, I will say that it's like, let me think. The difference between like Genji and Tracer, it just really depends on who the other DPS is. Because Cassidy has a lot more control over like the crowd versus Sojourn.
Right. Yeah, I think Sojourn is definitely Oh, almost went off the map there. The Sojourn's gonna be forced to like utilize that mobility a lot more against the dive comp, where the cast can kind of stand his ground. Assuming his team doesn't get booped off the map. That would kind of a prerequisite for winning fights.
Oopsie. Let's see. They're in spawn. Interesting.
Regroup. Bit of a Mitzi syndrome here for EMP, just running right ahead of his team. Trying to make something happen. Big punch. Gets the EMP punch right away, but this guy falls over. Doesn't have a team. Very unfortunate. We do...
Oh,
Ooh, big blade coming out.
yep.
Clockwork stares down the Cassidy. Just kind of...
Interrupt just has too much aura.
Yeah. Not enough aura to survive a 1v4 though. Opera gonna try and get a touch in here. Gets the Suzu. Tries to pulse bomb Tyler, but Tyler bravely just stands right next to it and doesn't die. Overclock does come through. Catches Wisp. EMP gonna try and get the powered punch, but he does just die.
Yeah. With the Kitsune coming out, you know, it does put them at a bit of a disadvantage if they do manage to retouch, which Interrupt seems to be doing, or attempting at least.
Yeah, you thought about it.
Too far forward.
Tracer does not blink. bit one-sided here. Phreaks obviously just kind of like not doing anything. They're just like letting Skycode fall off the map. So I think Skycode, the comp is good. We've seen like Interrupt was kind of going crazy on the cast in those first two fights. So I think it's just like you don't fall off the map and you win. That's like the win condition. Don't fall off the map.
Yeah. I do think with the Winston and the Genji, there is a bit more synergy there than Doomfist and Tracer, because Winston can just kind of burst all those characters down at the same time, and Doomfist, all he has is his punch.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Yeah, I think that's why you have the Cassidy, is just so you have some of that like kill confirmation ability. But in a straight up 1v1, like the Winston and the Doomfist, like Doomfist is probably going to win, but I don't think he's really trying to fight the Winston. He just seems to be going all over the place. And it looks like EMP actually does end up getting 2 here. Haza just kind of left his team, walked off the point. Gonna accept death there.
You know, a role of a tank is to take space, but maybe not that much. You know?
Yeah, just dived right behind them. Oh, quick bubble and spawn, just in case. Looks like they're gonna take the center route here. See how Haza approaches this. He's just gonna run straight forward.
He pops the bubble.
Pop bubble right away.
Very early, yeah. It does give you something to shoot at, though.
That's true. Kind of draw some of that fire, especially from the Cassidy. But unfortunately,
maybe that was what they needed.
Yeah. Like EMP, I don't know. He just sort of like was very stationary. I think a lot of this is like utilizing the mobility that these dive comps offer. And a lot of the time, we're just seeing these players just sort of stand still and brawl it out. So in that case, the bubble being popped early did kind of work, because they all just stood under the bubble. Well, Hatsa going in really early here. Uses the bubble, trying to catch someone off guard, but Wisp was able to escape. Ends up picking up Oxford. Gonna try and kill Tyler. Confirms the kill. Beats just in case, just to kill Haza, who's full HP standing still. Wants to reset here. No, actually he doesn't.
With the bubble dancing.
Yeah, that was some good tech. Haza is gonna live. Doesn't pick up the mega because he doesn't need that. He has a bubble, and he immediately walks out of the bubble.
What a play.
EMP has the empowered punch here. Might play a bit aggressively, go for a kill on the enemy team before their Winston can come back, or he can just sit on point. Either one is a valid option.
Curious, they're taking the room now. They are pushing from the left side a bit more, so maybe they'll take some of that ground.
Yeah. It's a Deadeye. Doesn't get any kills. EMP way out of position. Doesn't confirm a kill off the Deadeye. Here comes a big blade shut down by Interrupt.
Close.
Beat comes out. This is going to be the last fight. They gotta use it. Gotta try and get at least 1 or 2 kills here. But Seer just can't quite connect any of his rails.
Nakitsune is pretty strong.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Actually on the point for once. And it looks like the second round is going to go to Skycode. Sort of cleaned up some of the mistakes they had last round. Namely, there are no environmental hazards in the center of the point.
I think with the Doomfist, with the high ground, like Winston has to like sort of mitigate that because it's a little more open. Or wait,
Yeah.
maybe it's less open. But you know, you gotta take what you can get with this map.
Yeah, I feel like each point forces you to play very, very differently. So we're just seeing each team, like, you know, Phreaks, their comp worked better on the first map, or first point. Skycode, their comp worked better on the second point. So we'll see whose works better on this third point. I do think it's going to be a bit of a toss-up because there's a combination of the wide open spaces and a very, like, enclosed point.
Yeah. Doomfist and Winston are like they both benefit from the tighter spaces.
Yeah.
We'll see if they utilize it.
Wait, both teams
But
getting the
honestly-
point at the same time. Oh my gosh, has a deleted. Interrupt, right clicking all over the place, but does end up going down to Seer. Pretty messy fight, actually. EMP closes it out, killing both the DPS. First
I
point.
really do think Doomfist he benefits from the room, honestly, because that just punching into walls is just so strong for him.
Yeah.
And Winston, like, he can't do much against that.
Yeah, he's really gonna have to play differently. Like, if he can take high ground here, I think that'll be very, very good against the cast tracer who don't have that verticality that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Has a just up in EMP's face. Just punching him to death. EMP just can't fight back. That's gonna be a really quick flip there for Phreaks. 31%. Definitely knowing the bots, they could make that up very easily. No ults ready yet, surprisingly.
I think with just like the speed of these fights, it's really hard to build like that much ult charge off of them.
Yeah.
Just because they're so deadly.
Yeah, especially dive comps, it's just gonna be really fast. Recall forced out early for Opera. Gonna stick the pulse bomb onto Hazza. Doesn't kill him though. Gonna lower him enough. Beat comes out. I didn't even hear it. Here comes the overclock, but it's shut down. Last ditch effort with the blade, but it's like Skycode just gonna take that point right back. They did have to use both DPS ults, but they forced out Beat, and I think that's a lot more valuable.
Yeah. It looks like it's pretty neck and neck though with these teams. They're both just making use of their space, and it's very interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah. Yeah, each fight is just like completely different from one another on this point. Just each team trying something different approach each time. Instant meteor strike.
Interesting.
Beat comes out to save them from the high noon. Interrupt is probably gonna go down here. Actually, no, he kills Seer. Kitsune rush coming out for Phreaks. Opera trying to get Oxford, but he can't quite get him. He TPs away. And point is flipped yet again, almost instantly. Looks like,
Let's see if they'll hold on to it till 70 though.
yeah, I mean, 70 is gonna have to be probably 2 fight wins. Or if they can maybe draw out the fight. They do have that primal coming up. Kitsune rush on the other side. Gonna be a very intense fight.
I think with Primal coming up, if the Tracer uses her pulse bomb correctly, she can kind of negate some of that health advantage.
True. EMP staring at this wall before he engages, giving himself a little pep talk. Punches right in, uses all of his cooldowns, has absolutely nothing. Primal is prop. How Korean is Hazza? Not very. Oh, wait. He juggles Opera in the corner. What a play. This bot was designed. The behavior tree was programmed by a Korean. Very nice juggle there. 79, 80%. Looks like it's going to be last fight for Skycode. Coming back with no ults on either side. Going to be a complete neutral fight. EMP going in first. Suzu is used, but not on him. Suzu used on Phreaks as well. Ragdoll going down first to Seer, and Skycode's so low. EMP, last one standing. Tracer tries to touch, but it's all over. First map goes over to the Phreaks. Very,
Wow.
very close.
I think in like a true neutral fight, I think Winston just does take more advantage of that situation. Like he just stands there and he takes his space as he should.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
But
it
it's,
was like you saw the Doomfist just like could not get any like sequences going. He could not get a slam, punch, shoot. Like he was just using them all like very uncoordinated.
especially on Sojourn and Genji, they're both very shifty characters on like compared to Cassidy and Tracer. Tracer, she has to be in the space to take advantage of it, and Winston just ultimately denies that.
Yeah.
But we'll see how the next map goes with Rialto. Should be interesting.
Yeah, it looks like EMP are gonna pick Rialto. I mean this could also be a good dive map. You might see the Winston come out again. It seemed to work pretty well. I think like I was kind of doubting the Genji especially because we don't see Genji a lot in bot league. It's just like he doesn't get a lot of value.
Right.
But just like the bots don't know how to play him. But he actually did pretty good there, even getting some like relatively big blades.
Yeah, it's nice to see some variety come to these players
Yeah.
as time goes on.
As we arrive on Rialto, the newly taken over by Talon, Rialto.
I don't know if I like all the revamps that they did to the maps.
I still
Especially
like Gibraltar. I still get messed up on some of the new geometry.
yeah.
They removed a mini as well.
Did they? Dang.
Yeah. It annoys me so much because I keep going there expecting to find a mini when I'm playing like Tracer or something, and that's just not there. So this is interesting pathing from EMP.
Honestly, it makes you wonder because like with the maps, because like it is a competitive game after all, and like releasing a new map is different from taking out just like an old one entirely. Like I don't think the map had any problems.
No, yeah, I think it was fine. Yeah, very weird decision. But here we go. Hazza is immediately going to get hacked. We're seeing Skycode go on to the Sombra now. EMP going to kill Tyler first. Going on the Junker Queen to counter that Winston. EMP just staying alive through the bleed. Going to kill Hazza, and looks like Seer is next. Clockwork going to try and go and get a kill. Immediately hacked and taken down by EMP. Suzu comes out for Tyler. Looks like Oxford and Tyler just going to walk back to spawn. EMP at 20 HP. Almost died there. Oh, he does die. Tyler runs out of spawn. They're actually going to flip this fight around. Really impressive. Kind of a false defeat. I guess they kind of like baited them into overextending, chasing those support kills.
Yeah. It makes you wonder if like how many maps are exactly viable with the spawn hold, because with this map it's like yes, you could potentially get away with it, but it's just like when you lose a fight you're just gonna lose so much cart progress in that.
Yeah. Yeah, already cart halfway to the checkpoint. EMP just going right in there. Looks like Opera trying to hack Tyler. Doesn't quite finish the kill though. And Skycode has taken space on the cart, but at what cost as they all fall. Yeah, you can see there, looks like Phreaks just like immediately backed into that corner and utilized cover, which is a very rare occurrence in bot league. There you go, first checkpoint. Gonna try and be a quick recontest here, go for the spawn hold. And be chasing Tyler down. Avoids the Mega, just out of raw aura, just he doesn't need it. Rampages onto the Hazza, who's trying not to stagger. Overclock pop by Seer. Probably not the best decision. Deadeye gets 2. Both Kitsune rushes uses, one of them being a Kitsune Jax. And Interrupt is going to get dived by Haza and taken down. What is happening? Ragdoll bravely defending the point. And I guess Phreaks won that?
Yeah. The fact that they continued to push after losing the point is absurd, but also they did take some time off the clock, so maybe it was worth it in the long run.
Yeah. I mean, they used Kitsune Rush and Deadeye. Kitsune Rush, like, if they just used Deadeye, I think that would have been good, but the Kitsune Rush is kind of unfortunate. Not winning the overall fight.
Yeah.
Here we go. Opera going in. Here comes the beat for Skycode. Opera looking to take down Seer. Solo ult Seer. Ends up catching Haza in the process. And there we go. Quick retake for Phreaks. Or Skycode.
I'm not really sure if they needed that EMP to win that fight, because the beat was already enough, but,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, because Phreaks had nothing to respond with. Oh, and Oxford doesn't get the TP. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Oh, Primo used immediately here by Haza. Gonna try and push EMP into the corner. Juggling the Lucio. Knocks Offer straight off the map.
Nice.
But the rest of his team is low. He did kind of let Interrupt and EMP just walk all over his backline. Now he has no defensive tools, and he's just gonna fall over.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, really good start to the fight, but I think he should have peeled for his team. I know he was just trying to go for backline, but he just couldn't trade fast enough. Couldn't get that
Yeah.
Lucio.
That Somber pick might have been viable for the next team fight though, because they are in a 4v5 right now.
That's true. The Phreaks are actually going to use the bubble early. Oxford doesn't get the memo, rushes in. Same thing with Clockwork. Here comes the Deadeye. Zone the rest of Phreaks back to their spawn.
That was a good Deadeye. It's a good way to waste our time.
Yeah, just like shut everything
So
down
it's
right away.
like so wide open on this section of the map.
Yeah. Rampage coming out here, catches 2, and without that healing, it's like as it's gonna go down. Skycode pretty decidedly winning that fight, as Seer didn't even get a chance to enter the fight. Another bubble in spawn I saw. Some advanced tech.
It seems like they're pretty efficiently cycling their ultimates. We're gonna have both support ults coming up soon, so we'll see if they use them both, but I honestly don't know.
No beat available for Skycode. Blade comes out for Clockwork, but he doesn't use it. Simply a zoning blade. Seer catches 2. But Interrupt is actually kind of cleaning this up. Gonna save the fight. Make it a bit more even. Deletes Oxford. But it's just him and the Kiriko on point right now, and he cannot win that. Maybe. Tyler is 1 HP. Tyler goes down to Interrupt, but it's just Haza and Interrupt. And Haza's not even shooting back. He just walks away.
Their ultimate, or their ability usage is really, really good, actually. They're forcing early responses, which means that they can't push.
Yeah. EMP going in really deep here. Just going to play a bit aggressively. Has to watch the boop. Here comes the overclock and the Deadeye.
Really efficient Deadeyes coming from Interrupt.
Yeah, just immediately shuts down that overclock. They can't afford to risk losing a fight so close to the timer running out. Beat available on both sides and nothing else. Maybe you can farm that EMP. Suzu used really early. That's gonna hack. EMP and goes in deep. Beat to confirm it. EMP goes down. Opera teleporting somewhere right into the middle of the cart. Interrupt can't quite save this fight. He's just gonna let himself die. Doesn't want to stagger.
Oh no. Okay, good.
Oh, almost a C9 there.
Well, that's overtime, and they're not even halfway through this point.
Yeah, they really gotta hope they win this fight, but they're going up against Beat and EMP. Really good saving the Beat there for this retake. EMP comes out immediately. Tyler goes down. Here comes the Beat just to confirm it. Primal is popped. Haza gonna try and juggle Tyler. Has to stay on that cart, knocking all of Skycode off the cart, but the Rampage comes in. Looks like Hazza is gonna go down here. And 64 meters for Phreaks. Not
Well,
a bad push. Could have been worse.
I think it's just unfortunate that they just were at such a disadvantage with their abilities.
Yeah.
Cause like, I don't even know. Like they're good at like cycling their ultimates, obviously. But what do you do like against that when you're just at an ultimate disadvantage and you can't like Rialto is very hard to push, I think, against the bridge or across the bridge.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't like get that initial push over the bridge, it can be very, very rough because you're completely out in the open as you try and make it to the cart.
Yeah. With that Cassidy, oh, it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you dive in, you get hacked. You don't dive in, you get shot by the Cas. Like, it's a
Yeah.
lose-lose scenario for Phreaks. But, respectable time. I mean, I think their strength right now is just how long Hazza can live. Uh, we've seen some really good bubble dancing and really good primals. So, I think it's definitely winnable here for Phreaks. They just really gotta not stand right in front of the enemy spawn. Which I don't think is going to happen. Um,
Maybe it'll go differently for them with the different comp.
True, true. Yeah, as long as they don't overextend. That was kind of what Skycode did wrong, was they overextended after they won the fight. And Hazard's going to be immediately hacked. Suzu comes out. Looks like Wisp is going to go down. Oxford traded by Opera. Hazard dies. No tank for Phreaks. And kind of messy fight here. EMP dueling with Clockwork. It's like every member of the team is just doing their own thing.
Oh wow.
EMP is at 21 HP. Wisp and Ragdoll cleaning it up.
Ragdoll had a really good flank right there. That was really nice to see the wrap.
Yeah. Yeah, that was very well played, especially EMP dragging like all the aggro over to him. Somehow survives. And gonna be a recontest a bit earlier than where Skycode did on their defense. And Wisp is dangerously low. Gets hacked right away, but he does end up escaping the Winston. Looks like Clockwork goes in a bit too deep, gets hacked. Opera's already found two. Hazza's gonna be hacked next. Tyler is in Opera's sights. It's like Hazza trying to trade the backline here. But he's just kind of getting bumped around. Gets booped and hacked. There we go. I don't know if they're going to get a recontest. They're not pushing out a spawn yet, but they do have that Lucio, and Phreaks does have a beat. So if they can make it, they are going to have beat advantage, can probably win the fight there. But it doesn't look like they pushed out.
All the way up.
Yeah, they do not want them to touch that point. Doesn't look like they will anyways, though. Beat comes out. They do want to win this fight, try and get the same spawn hold that was done to them. It's like kind of just like all crowded in the mega room. Clockwork fails to find any right clicks. Kitsune Rush coming out for Skycode. Rampage as well, and the beat. Here comes the Deadeye from Skycode. They have used 4 ultimates to try and win this fight. And Tyler dragging some aggro. Maybe he can live here. Just sort of walking in a straight line. And this is going to be final fight territory for Phreaks. They really have to do something here. But they did use the beat, so it's like... Okay, they're not even going to touch anything. Okay.
Well, that's really just unfortunate for Wisp, the Ajax.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like no contest at the end there.
I think for Skycode, the like early usage of all their abilities, they were just always one step ahead of the Phreaks. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Like, I think we just saw how strong the Queen is into Winston. I think that was kind of like just that tank swap alone made such a big difference.
Because Sugar Queen, her ability is like she can just basically drag Winston wherever she wants. And then with the Cassidy and the Sombra, like you can just deny him any access to a safe place.
Right. Yeah, overall these have been like this has been pretty back and forth. Like we have seen some like kind of like one-sided fights, but like that was a really well-informed map pick for Skycode.
Yeah.
So like they knew how to play to their strengths there. Especially making that swap based on what they had learned. And next map was picked by Phreaks. It is going to be Suravasa. Very
I
interesting.
really like the addition of flashpoint maps. Like
Yeah,
it's just like a different way to play the game, and it's like it's really good for making the game fun again.
yeah, yeah. It's like a streamlined version of Control.
Ready for battle.
A Reaper swap, interesting. And Zarya?
Yeah, so we are seeing Czar Reaper, which we did see a bit last night. Same carry Lu backline seems to be the meta in regular Overwatch and in Bot League.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you aren't running meta backline, you're never gonna win, as I've been told.
Right.
So we'll see what Skycode can pull off with this.
I remember before Vendetta came out, Reaper Zarya was pretty synergetic. So it should be interesting to see how they play against the Joker Queen with the denial of cooldowns.
Yeah, definitely gonna be looking to interrupt that flow that Skycode has with this Junker Queen Sombra. But has a taken down Seer follows. This has been really one-sided. Despite counter swapping, like to a comp you think would be really good against what Skycode is running, like they just got deleted. I think the main thing I saw there was both Zarya bubbles popped like right away, so they just had no way to sustain in that fight.
With the Cassidy and then the Sombra like interrupt, it's just gonna be really hard to keep track.
Yeah.
Of everything.
Here we go. Has on the recontest. Gets hacked, so he can't use that bubbles. Uses both right away, like instantly. And Wisp is gonna find Tyler. Just kind of all brawling on the point right now. But Skycode is still dominant.
Wow.
I don't know what's happening right now.
It could be just the lack of like Zarya, yes, she's a frontliner, like she's a brawly tank, but against Joker Queen, like Joker Queen can just abuse the fact that she has no bubbles and really just take down like the defense.
Right. Yeah. Haza's gonna get hacked. No bubbles to survive.
Mitzi Syndrome.
Mitzi Syndrome returns. Seer gonna try and make the most of it. Does end up getting a pick on the offer, but it is a little late for that. As the first point goes over to Skycode. Looks like we see Clockwork just gonna let himself die there. Yeah, I mean, first point could always be, you know, a bit one-sided. So we'll see how... Ooh, Seer actually comes up from behind. Uses the overclock. 37 HP. Is he going to try and keep pushing with this? No, he's actually just going to back off. High Noon coming out, going to try and zone Haza away. Lamp saves him, but he just rushes right in again. The Mitzi Syndrome is really bad.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think that split, like, the Sojourn was a good idea. It was a very good idea. But it was just too early, I think, in the fight. And then Haza tried to capitalize, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, very uncoordinated play. We do have Blossom and you have Grav. Right on the same ult charge. So maybe we see a big Grav Blossom here. But you also have Beat for Skycode. So maybe we'll see something happen. True. It's like Hazard is going to run right in there. Both bubbles get broken, hacked, just deleted from existence. Clockwork going for a flank here, but it's a little too late as the rest of his team has already died. Gonna use the Wraithborn, trying to survive with this Brigitte. Uses Blossom, gets one, gets two.
Oh,
EMP comes out. Oh. I mean, you forced the EMP out. Blossom did get two, so maybe they can get back in time. The unfortunate thing is without a Lucio, what are you gonna like? How are you gonna get back fast enough?
Right, yeah. I think with the let me think. I think that they're struggling from just like not regrouping, so they're just kind of falling apart.
Grav
Huge
gets
grab on the Sombra.
home run. Grav shot across the point. Haz is gonna go down again, and the rest of Phreaks is just kind of lost right now. No ults, no position to like engage
Wow.
from because their tank didn't properly grab.
It's just very unfortunate, honestly. Like, what do you do? In
Yeah,
that
what do you
situation?
do when you have Gaming for Hope on your team as Arya? Phreaks just really struggling to find their footing here. I like the comp. The comp seems like really solid here. It's just unfortunately not really working out with Skycode's tempo. They're just playing really
Yeah.
fast. Phreaks gonna have spawn advantage though. This is the point where you can start turning it around. Haza actually does some pretty good bubbles there. Gonna take out Wisp first. EMP looking low. Deadeye maybe trades out Tyler. It does. Oxford is hacked. No shield. Gets the bubble to live. It's still gonna go down though. Interrupt. Trying to make something of it, but Phreaks does end up winning the fight.
I think that early pick onto the Lucio is what they really needed to win that fight because he
Yeah.
did have beat.
Yeah, no beat, and yeah, really saw. I mean, positioning advantage obviously because this is the 2-0 point.
Right.
But in general, just like really well played there. Good target priority. Maybe we're seeing Phreaks come alive. EMP split off from the rest of his team as Hazard just is a big meat shield. Ragdoll is gonna go down. Here comes the rally and the window. Rampage coming out, but there's only 2 Skycode members left on the point. And there we go. Second fight won. Invested 3 ults into it though, so you're gonna go have to recontest with the EMP and the beat.
I do think overusing their ults is gonna put them at a massive disadvantage here.
Yeah. Yeah, you got Blossom, but like EMP, Castney, there's so many things that can shut it down. Unless Skycode doesn't touch? No, they do. Just barely enough to catch overtime. Blossom comes out,
Ragdoll with
kills
Blink
EMP.
again. Shut down.
Grav actually
Huge grab.
comes out, ends up hitting no one. EMP gets every member of... Oh no, what a tragic beat.
Flashpoint. Palace.
Yeah, both those ults that would have put Phreaks at or Skycode at a really big advantage to retake were just used after the fight was already lost. So it looks like they're just going to chase down the remaining members of Skycode with just kind of amping, standing still while amping speed. Going to be knocked against the wall, just AFK as he's beamed down by Haza. EMP going to quickly try and take Haza out. Maybe flip this, but the Immortality Field comes out, ends up saving Haza. Now EMP is overextended, has no cooldowns to live, trying to rely on that bleed. And we're up poking, maybe trying to get a trade. Oh.
That was a really strong early fight when they were trying to touch. Like just the positioning like on the point versus where they're coming in, and it was just really strong for them, even
Yeah.
with the ult disadvantage.
Yeah, that was like really well played. Just like ability use, especially that lamp that like EMP overextended trying to get the kill. Lamp comes out and then he just dies, split off from the rest of his team. So well played from Phreaks. EMP re-engaging with the shout here. Rush is available, so is Rally though. No ult's coming out. There we go. There's the Rally. EMP trying to brawl. Has a both bubbles are forced. Suzu comes out for Skycode. Here comes the Kitsune Rush. Really late from Skycode, but it looks like it is going to work out. Deadeye comes out. Possible 2 kills. Boom. Seer, Tyler, both going down. Oh, Grav used at 1 HP. And it's just going to be a 1v2, actually. Interrupt going to have to kill the Brig and the Reaper. But he can't quite find it. Tyler comes back. Or Whiffs, sorry, comes back. Completely unaware of what's happening. He's playing his own game. Blossom just for Aura. Oxford is going to die. Can Whiffs get the retouch for overtime? He can. If he can survive. He
No
almost
way.
has beat. He almost has beat. He doesn't Ajax.
no way.
He lives. He's stalling. Rest of his team comes back. And now this fight has completely flipped. Tyler goes down. Axe doesn't quite catch Clockwork, but he's hacked, so he can't use any of his other abilities. Seer slides away, but he gets bubbled. Haza's the only member left of Phreaks. And
What a fight!
Skycode clutches the point. Just insane. I was making fun of Wisp for coming back so late, but he actually got a generational touch and the beat to stall long enough. And now they have...
That's crazy.
I just...
Okay.
How do they do it?
And they got just what they needed to flip that fight too. But they were snowballed earlier, but when they were able to regroup, it just all kind of came together.
Yeah. Yeah, really good team play. Now we see trading blows. EMP coming out from Skycode. Gonna have this overclock out. Can't quite find the target though. Seer looking, gets hacked, bursts down. And now the turns have tabled. Skycode in the lead, 80%. Can Phreaks even get a touch?
And they're ahead on their ults too. This is really unfortunate.
Yeah. Then Haza neglects to touch the point, putting Phreaks at a 2-to-1 disadvantage as Skycode takes the lead back.
What a comeback!
Yeah, really, really well played on that last one.
I think that kind of puts in perspective of like how important your ult economy is. Just because like, yes, you may lose 2 points for it, but the second you can just like kind of reintegrate yourself with your team, and just make that final push together. That's really all you need to make come back with a huge win. Honestly,
Yeah.
because I was really thinking they wouldn't be able to like handle it, but they pulled through.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, that was probably one of the craziest plays we've ever seen in Bot League. Was just like, I don't know how he didn't Ajax. He somehow like was just barely hidden around that little fountain
Yeah.
to live that. So very, very well played. Looks like Phreaks have chosen Paraiso as their possibly final map of the series. Be very curious, like, what do you think their game plan is going into this?
Paraiso?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it could just be they did better on I think. Like they just do better when they have like ability like they're able to hold down like chokes better, I think. And this map is pretty
Yeah.
choky.
Very choke heavy. You got that long stretch of the second point that is absolutely brutal to get through on the offense. And Phreaks are going to be starting on the offense. So could be tricky. Especially been having some comp troubles. Couldn't quite get the coordination down for Reaper Zarya.
Ready for battle.
This map is very interesting because it does have a lot of history, especially since it was developed for the PvE experience.
Yeah.
So it's not really quite built for competitive play, and everything was just kind of put together in the end, which makes sense that it feels so bad to play on. But
Yeah.
I feel like it will come around eventually.
Yeah. It's really fun if you're on defense first.
Yeah.
But not so great on attack. When your team has Ashe Junkrat, looks like they're just
Ashe
trying
Junkrat.
the old Junkrat clutch pick. The reverse sweep from Junkatech yesterday seems to have inspired a lot of Junkrat players.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how the Ashe plays out, because she is pretty like similar in damage to Cassidy, besides her dynamite, of course.
Yeah.
So we'll just see how that plays out. It'll even it out. So really, it'll be about Junkrat versus Sombra.
Yeah, which I think Junkrat will usually win the fight against Sombra. Tyler immediately falling here. See this Junkrat on the high ground looking for a pick.
On the high ground.
He stays
Huge.
on the high ground, but unfortunately the rest of his team is not on the high ground. They are underground.
He's choosing to stay there. Unfortunate.
Yeah, really poor approach, I think. Junkrat had the right idea, but Haza just kind of walked straight down. Lost a lot of HP using the Fortify early.
Yeah. With that Cassidy, it's gonna be brutal for the Orisa. Honestly.
Yeah. See, what their
Especially
approach is, like, I think the Ashe could definitely like kind of farm here if they can just get on the high ground where the Junkrat is.
Yeah. As long as Ashe can hit her dynamites, the second they have Bob, they win this fight.
Yeah, a very open point, especially with no Skycode members taking cover. Clockwork realized high ground didn't work, so he tries the low ground, and that doesn't work either. Skycode holding strong. They want to end this match.
That's crazy. It just shows this map. Like, this first point is very, like, it's pretty linear, I'd say. Like, you're forced to take high if you want to have any sort of advantage. Otherwise, you're just forced to come through this small choke.
Yeah. Third fight for Phreaks. See if they can pull something off here. No ult's quite charged.
Pretty far ahead of his team. But surprisingly, he doesn't lose HP for it.
Yeah, here comes a Terra. Beat in response. Excellent beat. It's like interrupt on the high ground very briefly. Drops down, has a falls. So he's gonna take down Seer and Oxford.
I do think forcing beat was a pretty good plan, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, that gives them a huge advantage going into the next fight. But they do have Kitsune coming up, so we'll see how that pans out, considering that Phreaks don't have any ults right now besides Riptire.
Yeah. Yeah, Riptire, I mean, consistently has been getting 2Ks, but it's such an open point that it might just get shot down before it can get anywhere. Here comes the Deadeye and the rush. Deadeye finds nothing. Tire is big. Ooh, 3K Tire!
And now, that is a one fight.
Yeah. The Tire came in clutch there. EMP, I think, was stopped by Javelin? It looks like it wasn't cast.
Yeah. I do think, with the Kitsune, it forces the team to play very, like, clumped, and so the Riptire definitely countered a bit of that.
Yeah, they all flocked to the middle of that Kitsune rush, and then there's the Riptire. No one shot it. This is just like my ranked games. It's like, but EMP has that Rampage. Nothing, no beat available for Phreaks, so see what the plan is here. Big Rampage right down the middle of the point, catches 3 members. Looks like Seer is going to go down from that, can't get out of the way fast enough, has it going for a backline trade, kills Interrupt, looking for Wisp next, gets stuck in the Junkrat trap. EMP hit with a Javelin, he's going to be bumped into this corner with Opera. Both of them are going to fall. Let Phreaks continue their push. I think the Rampage was a bit premature there. Didn't let the rest of his team get set up.
Especially right here. Because I feel like this spot right here, like this corner is very catered towards the attackers just because they can like take so much cover here.
Yeah.
And abuse just that corner.
Yeah, big advantage on that first corner and then heavy disadvantage on the second, which they've just passed through. So they're in a very good position, especially with 3 ultimate. Here comes Terra Surge.
Early Terra Surge. Huge
2 kills with it. Oh my goodness. And Oxford stuck in the trap. Gonna try and escape, regroup a bit here. Oh, Ragdoll goes down to Clockwork. Here comes the Bob. Big Bob's just gonna delete EMP as he gets javelined into the cart.
It just goes to show, this game, like, it's some things you don't want to do first, but like but it's like a lot of the characters do take advantage of making the first move.
Yeah.
That's why you can't be afraid to like take that leap.
Yeah, throwing the Bob in there especially just like forces the enemy team to come like immediately fall back and try and kite it. Here comes the Deadeye. Gonna take out Seer with it. Haza is falling back towards the spawn. There goes Clockwork. Window has come out for Tyler. He's just gonna sit right behind the enemy team. Just farming. The enemy team finally realizes where that healing is coming from and takes him down. PvP Tire comes out, kills EMP. It's like Clockwork gonna try and establish this fight. Here comes the Kitsune rush for Skycode. Clockwork runs right out into the open. And Skycode has repossessed to this cart. Opera just saying hi in spawn. Fails to hack the Mega. Loses half his HP for it. Ragdoll, unfortunately, gets caught. Does TP out, but has to use both his cooldowns there. Here comes the EMP. for Skycode, but no one is there to really follow up on it. What? What?
That's crazy.
A random right click from Clockwork takes down Opera, and now it's going to be a 4v5 in the next fight, but they do have Beat and Rampage ready, so Skycode might be able to retake around the X corner.
I still think Blizzard should nerf Genji, honestly. You know?
I think, yeah, if they nerf Genji, then this match is a lot more fair and balanced. Ooh, the Rampage gets stuck on a wall. Beat comes out anyways, trying to salvage this fight. Has a pushing EMP back, ends up trading him. Immortality Field is keeping him alive as he tries to finish the rest of the members of Skycode off. Interrupt is stuck on the cart. 360 doing some spinnies. Doesn't quite work out for him. Rest of Skycode just trying to regroup here. The Ashe trying to get some kills. Ends up killing Wisp. Just Opera left. He's just going to shoot from a distance. TP's away. Then runs straight back into the enemy team.
It's really unfortunate for Skycode. They're kind of falling into that snowball.
Yeah.
And, like, now they don't have any option but to do that if they want to get the touch.
Yeah, just going to have to run straight on that point. Or just not even touch the point at all.
That works too.
Round 1. 45 seconds. They did finish the map, but not a huge time bank to work with here, especially for how long it took them to cap.
I think I consider it a win for the defending team if you manage to hold them under a minute, honestly. So it'll be interesting to see how the Junker Queen plays against this Orisa, because Junker Queen, Orisa's very defensive, so Junker Queen will struggle, I feel like, against it.
Yeah, Junker Queen, like, you usually are not going to get a lot of value out of any of your cooldowns against Orisa. Like, you can't pull her in because of Fortify, you can't use Axe because of Fortify. Every time you shout, you're just going to have 2 defensive cooldowns coming at you, so it's like, what are you going to do?
Ready for battle.
Still on the Ashe Junkrat. I did like the Baptiste Moira. I feel like they added a bit more, variety to this match.
Yeah, that makes it interesting. Got some sustain going. Works well with the Orisa. So we're kind of curious to see, like, I don't know. How well is the Moira going to work on defense? Because Bab's going to work well, but I feel like the Moira, who's going to rely on the flanking, is going to struggle a bit on defense, especially on a map that's so choke heavy.
Yeah. It's just going to be a question of how well they utilize this corner.
Yeah.
I think Junkrat will have a slight advantage on this corner just because he can spam that choke.
Yeah.
And force them to fall back. But it'll be up to this team how they go around that.
Yeah. What's the play here? Looks like run straight down the middle as usual. Clockwork just spamming grenades everywhere. Looks like Dynamite did hit on Opera. Interrupt gonna take down Tyler. And looks like the Junkrat just cannot find any kills. Never mind, he immediately finds Wisp as I say that, just to prove me wrong. Interrupt still standing strong here on the point. Gonna kill Seer. Gonna kill Clockwork. Gonna kill Oxford. And that was first fight win for Skycode.
Very, very fast for this team. Wow. I was not anticipating that. I think the Junker Queen, she just offers that little bit of extra sustain to her team. And Lucio does so well, like, swinging corners.
Yeah. Yeah, I think especially you don't have the Ashe or Junkrat on high ground. They're all just on low ground. Just easy pickings for the Cassidy and Junker Queen.
Yeah.
It's like, Hazza gonna try and hold under this little bridge thingy. Big
Straight
Dynamite. Yeah, just goes right in there. Seer forgets how Ashe is supposed to be played and just walks straight out into the enemy team. EMP shouting out of the room. Hazza gonna try and back off and kite them a bit. Maybe fall back to cover or maybe stand out in the open. Oxford desperately trying to heal, but here comes the Deadeye. Takes Hazza down.
So does Oxford.
Push continues.
It's maybe there they go. Okay, this is very interesting because the speed. I think the speed is giving them a heavy advantage right now because they're able. Because Orisa doesn't do that well against speed because she can be like she's a strong like barrier, but the rest of her team can be run down pretty easily, so they can just kind of ignore her.
Yeah. Just kind of overwhelm her before she can get properly set up. and just pulls Interrupt in. Pure love of the game right here. Has a Javelin spinning, has no defensive cooldowns right now, just chasing Interrupt. Has some personal vendetta against him. EMP kills 2 with the Rampage. Kitsune Rush is going to come out for Skycode, but it's a bit late. Ash stuck in a corner. Body blocked by EMP. The push continues.
They're just doing so well with these like aggros.
Yeah.
I honestly think the Sombra might be giving Orisa a bit of an issue here. Just shutting down any abilities.
Yeah, especially in such like ability heavy comp, right? Like Baptiste, Orisa, Junkrat all like heavily rely on their cooldown cycling, right?
Yeah.
So just being able to hack, take them out of that, force them to play like a very simplified game. Just very big. Big tire coming out. EMP at the same time. Kills Opera for it. It's like Phreaks pushing out of here. Beat comes in for Skycode. Try and salvage this fight. Coalescence in response. Both teams just kind of kiting each other right now. EMP does go down the clockwork. Oxford catches Interrupt with the Coalescence. And the supports maybe trying to kite back to spawn. See something similar to like Rialto here, but Phreaks are not falling for it this time.
Yeah. I think that early pick with the tire is what they needed. Unfortunately, EMP is not as deadly of an ult.
Yeah, really just... Oh my gosh, Ragdoll deleted by the Junkrat Mine. Bob gonna take down Wisp. Opera as well. Skycode just can't even get out of spawn right now. They aren't able to play with speed when the defenders are already pretty well set up here. One choke to walk down. EMP maybe thinking about a flank route here, but it's going to be a 3v5. Supports abandon their tank. Figure he has Mitzi Syndrome. He'll learn his mistakes eventually. Big Terra Surge in spawn. Is it going to catch anybody? Wisp going to walk through that damage window. Able to get out from that stun. Both teams, again, just kind of going back to a neutral state here. Interrupt, has a high noon, kills Tyler. Standing in front of Hazza, bravely walking forward, instantly uses Deadeye to reload. Very high level move, killed by the Total Mayhem from the Junkrat. What a bloodbath this has been. Rampage comes in, and EMP dies. Also, there's like a Kiriko on point for some reason. And you lost. Oh my god.
Wow.
Ragdoll continues the push by just simply 1v1ing the Orisa and winning. Ragdoll actually just gonna go check out the enemy spawn real quick.
I do think let me think. I can't think. I think the speed there, because they did take that off angle onto the Phreaks, and I think that really did give them an advantage there.
Yeah. Yeah, has it running it straight down here. Gonna Tire kills Ragdoll. Nice early pick. Sets this up quite nicely for the Phreaks. Has it trying to split the rest of the team away from EMP, and they just completely back off while EMP goes into the Phreaks backline. Immediately killed. And this is just cleanup time for Phreaks. Interrupt goes down. They're just kind of they're gonna let Tyler walk away with this one, or with walk away. Why do I keep calling him Tyler? I'm so used to season 1.
Yeah.
But I mean, the nice thing is that Skycode has 3 ults they can use in this next fight, compared to 1 pretty mediocre ult for the Phreaks. Speaking
Early
of
surge.
EMP stares it down and somehow lives. But he's going to eventually die for it. Kitsune Rush comes out for Skycode. Going to try and make something of this fight, but it doesn't really look like anything's happening. Interrupts, right-clicking as best he can. Beat comes out to prolong this fight. Sears going down. EMP. This fight is actually flipped in Skycode's favor. Coalescence comes out just too late to really accomplish anything. Skycode's going to kite away. Opera forgets that he has an E button that can teleport him away from the enemies. Interrupt, just kind of right-clicking walls. Uses flashbang to take down a Junkrat trap. And Ragdoll has gotten caught in another Junkrat trap. And somehow, Skycode has massively fumbled the advantage that they had. Hazza is using Fortify. Deadeye comes out. Hopefully doesn't get Javelin. Hazza actually is going to die from that Deadeye, but Interrupt just walks forward into the Junkrat trap. 1 minute left for Skycode. What do you think their approach is going to be, considering they have like 1 ult?
Honestly, I don't know what they're gonna do. It looks like they're coming around on the height. No way.
Actually utilizing hype, but EMP has Mitzi Syndrome, so he cannot play with his team. He is physically incapable of doing so.
Out comes
PvP
the
tire
rip
comes
tire.
out, but it just goes some it just completely goes away. Somehow
Oh,
is
jeez.
destroyed by a boop. And looks like the rest of Skycode are just gonna walk back to spawn. Accept the defeat. Quick reset here. Weren't able to get that rampage, so they're gonna have it for this fight. And actually kind of a good fight for Skycode, because they got the 3 ults out from Phreaks here.
Yeah. I do think the bulb will kind of negate
what?
everything if they manage to farm it.
In Skycode, they just fumble the bag yet again. EMP does a 360 rampage away from the enemies. Walks in a straight line. And it
That
appears...
PayPal came through for EMP.
Yeah. Haza has just cash apped EMP $5. And there we go. Phreaks are gonna even this up. 2-2. What a map.
I think with that Riptire, like the fact that he was farming it so consistently just allowed them to win more fights than they needed to.
Yeah, I
Or-
think that ended up actually being quite a big difference maker. I mean, the Junkrat clutch pick, it always works.
Yeah.
So yeah, very interesting. We're now going to be going to the last game type, which is push. Push is probably one of the most interesting maps for the bots to play, because it's either a complete stomp or it's like a really close back and forth. So
Yeah. I think for the Freaks on the last map, they did pick a good map to their strengths because they did really abuse that small space.
yeah,
So yeah, we'll see how Esperanca will go.
yeah. I'm thinking maybe we see, like, I don't feel like the queen is working well into the Orisa, so I imagine we'll see that changed. Be curious, like, what would be the ideal comp for Skycode? Because like the Junkrat's just kind of destroying them right now.
Honestly, I think negating some of that AoE healing would
Yeah.
be a good pick for them because they're just able to keep that Orisa up, and the Orisa already is a huge bullet sponge. So it's like, what are you gonna do about that?
Yeah. As we go on to the final map, Esperanca. Very nice looking map. You know, except for when you have to actually like play on it.
Yeah. Dude, the designs for some of the like I think Push is one of my favorite map or like sorry, I forgot what it's called. Like the same like my favorite genre of map to play. How about that?
Yeah.
But I really do like the designs. Like I like the symmetry of it. And I just think they did really good with the design or the colors on them too, honestly.
Yeah. This is one thing that the Overwatch team is good at. Not balanced, but making nice looking maps. And here we go. Looks like a Ramatra Sojourn swap. Staying with the Kiryu though is quite interesting.
I do think the Sojourn will be able to farm more, like get more value off of the Orisa.
Yeah. They're definitely gonna be able to keep farming those rails. Especially Junkrat and Cass are gonna be pretty easy targets for a Sojourn. EMP gonna get set up first here. Gonna use that Lucio speed. Has to use Nemesis right away because Haza looked at him wrong. Interrupt's gonna find Tyler. Doesn't even get the chance to use the lamp there. Haza's gonna keep pressing forward despite being at an HP disadvantage. So far, looks like the Ramatra.
Really well.
Yeah, that swap is very good. Random shield. He is successfully defended against the tree.
I do think the Sojourn also kind of plays into it though, because you're able to just like delete the other like the squishies.
Yeah.
With that Orisa.
Especially Junkrat, he's just gonna kind of like been allowed to live on that past map, Paraiso. So I think this is gonna definitely force him to play a bit safer, not just run in and tire in the middle of a fight. Team is actually completely split here. Haza runs in. Mitzi Sidrum at its finest as he goes completely away from his team. Ends up catching Ragdoll though, loses Tyler for it. Seer going down. Oxford kind of pulling the moves on EMP here, but it's not enough to stall. checkpoint is going to be given to Skycode. Pretty dominant lead so far.
I think, unfortunately, with the split, you kind of have to take them by surprise, and they didn't really, like, fully push it, like, fast
Yeah.
enough to do that.
Yeah, it feels like it was just so late from the Cassidy coming up with that flank. But there's going to be a 4v5. Still one member of Skycode is missing. Opera he is taken out almost instantly. AMP just going to use that Nemesis form, try and make some space for his team. It's a bit too late. EMP is just in a corner. Annihilation is going to be used for that shield refresh. Gets some kills. Interrupt gets 3. Clockwork gets 2. Messy fight. But Deadeye is used. He is hard aim locking the enemies in spawn. And there's the call out for the tire. Gonna give them a bit of an advantage, especially if they can shut down that overclock early, as we see happen quite often in the bot league.
I wonder how the retake will go, because they did really well with the speed, but now that Phreaks are established, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Here comes the beat push with the overclock. Rest of Phreaks just is not there to help their team. Pretty quick flip. And Oxford forces, oh my, no, we have a tire Jax. I was gonna say, what a great play from Oxford getting that Kitsune rush out, but then Clockwork just decides to use the tire for absolutely no reason.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Very. So, window going to be available for the Phreaks here, but they're going to be playing into an EMP, which is arguably more useful. There's the retake. There's the window. Really nice window right onto the enemies. Hazard's just going to walk past it. He doesn't need a window to win. EMP is coming out. Seeing some trades come out. Hazard's probably going to go down here. Pushes a bit too aggressively. But the Nemesis form does not quite save EMP from all that damage. He does end up living. Very low. Clockwork doesn't feel the need to actually chase the kill there. Just going to fall back and shoot the wall some more. Now coming up for a very not sneaky flank. Okay.
It's a 4v3, which honestly could be winnable.
Yeah, very winnable with no ults for either side. It's going to be true neutral, which ideally the Orisa should win when the Ram does not have the rest of his team here, especially that vital Kiriko. Has it just in EMP's face, not letting up, but not really doing anything either. Beat comes out, really big beat. Tyler is going to go down, but EMP has us just hard targeting him, but he can't find the kill. Terra Surge doesn't really get anything except some space. EMP has flipped the map with Ragdoll. Ragdoll goes down, never mind. Interrupt, caught by Clockwork. The EMP is all by himself. What's he going to do? He uses Annihilation, that's what he's going to do. Immediately runs away. Annihilation might not have been the best play. He's at 13 HP.
I did when that Coalescence came out, and then the beat happened, I really thought it would just like it would flip to Skycode's advantage.
Yeah, they should have won off the beat push, but I think they were a bit too hesitant. And then the Terra did zone them a lot more than it should have. And
yeah.
Clockwork actually gave them quite a bit of cart push while they were fighting EMP. This is going to be a pretty one-sided fight unless Skycode decides to regroup, which it looks like they are going to regroup. Deadeye comes out. Just going to zone the enemies away. They're just running away. They do not want to be caught out for this. Back to spawn they go. That's going to give checkpoint over to Phreaks. Only ult available right now is that tire, which is going to be used. Spinning around, goes straight for Mothra, but doesn't detonate it in time. Has it just standing out in the open. EMP comes from the side. Rado gets launched into the air and taken out. Mortality Field comes out to save Hazza. EMP just punching away, but the other EMP, like the ability EMP, comes out and ends up flipping the fight very briefly.
That was an unfortunate fight loss, honestly.
Yeah, EMP,
I think that or what?
I was gonna say the EMP like looked like it was actually gonna like shut down Phreaks, but I think the Junkrat was just like, again, uncontested, as we've seen happen a lot.
Yeah, he just has so much splash damage that you can't like afford to let him get away with that.
Yeah, especially with how often these bots group up. Cassidy is very excited as they are almost there. Clockwork immediately deleted from this plane of existence. Seer is soon to follow. Here comes the overclock. Immortality Field doing God's work here. Oxford pops the coalescence at 1 HP and somehow lives. Seer just can't be taken down. Here comes the Terror Surge. Kitsune rushes in the middle of it. Ragdoll goes down. As it gets hacked, can't use Fortify. He's gonna go down. Here comes Beat just to confirm the fight. Deadeye just to reload. Gonna have to use Annihilation here to win the fight.
I honestly thought the Freaks would win that.
It
They
looked,
seemed like they were up.
yeah, they had really good positioning, really good engage, but seems like just pure ult advantage from Skycode. Had more they could use.
Yeah. But they the Freaks do have window coming up for the next fight, so I think that'll give them an advantage.
Surely they win
Especially
this.
since Skycode have none.
Yeah, ult
so far.
economy not so great for Skycode. Nice flank here actually coming in from the Freaks. You don't see that very often. Looks like they're gonna use high ground, and they've just completely isolated the Sojourn and the Kiriko, which is gonna make this fight
Wow.
of 3v5. Probably don't even need to use the window here. But has Mitzi Syndrome, just rushes ahead. It's gonna fall. EMP is
You
really
know,
low.
first down, the team. Are they gonna get there in time?
Surely. Surely. Surely.
Surely.
Surely. Surely. Surely. Surely. Surely. Oh. And Clockwork goes down just to save the point. Window comes out. It's gonna kill Opera. EMP is next. And like a meter away. Oh my goodness. From losing the whole thing, Clockwork valiantly sacrifices himself to stop the cart so Heather can touch. Easy recontest there. Might be able
Honestly,
to catch...
that was a pretty good like executed flank.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, I mean, despite it being really risky in terms of C9ing, it did set up quite a nice stagger, which they're going to continue. As the Sojourn neglects to actually fall back here. Wisp as well. This Skycode cannot properly regroup here. They're also losing a lot of ult charge, which is going to let Freaks kind of rebuild their ult economy. Got Tyre, they got Terra, and they got Deadeye. And that Deadeye especially is going to be useful here. EMP going forward with that Nemesis, trying to get some of those squishies out, but he just can't really find anything. Tyre denies him. Terra Surge used a bit prematurely.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, they still have the
That
Deadeye.
might honestly like cost them the game because Deadeye can only do so much on this map.
Yeah, you lose 2 zoning ults there. So, but you do have Window, do have Cole. EMP could shut those down though, same with the Annihilation.
Yeah.
Final fight. EMP coming from the back here. Here comes the Deadeye.
Wow.
Tyler
early
goes
pick.
down. No Window. But EMP does die for it. Tank trade is probably going to be a lot more valuable than a support one, but he's going to get back quicker because of how the respawns are set up right next to spawn. Seer misses the flashbang, but actually is going to let Clockwork pick up a kill here. Interrupt, taking down Seer. Freaks are falling one by one. Clockwork going to have to clutch this up with his tank. Wisp goes down. Is EMP going to touch? EMP does get a last minute touch, but he's booped backwards by the javelin spin. And EMP falls.
no.
Coalescence going to sustain them through the fight as Freaks take the series.
What a game. That was actually like one of the crazier ones I've seen so
Yeah.
far. in My 2 days.
Came down to the wire there. Like, just insane push. Like that. It looked like they were going to C9. It looked like they were just going to fumble. But in the
Yeah.
end, they brought it back. What a play. Yeah, that was just... I think Freaks found the comp that worked for them. The Orisa cast Junkrat Baptiste Moira is unorthodox as it sounds. Ended up working out very, very well for them.
Yeah. And I think some of the positioning plays they were making, it was just like, it was immaculate, honestly.
Yeah.
And I just think that last push that they needed ended up just pulling through for them.
Yeah. Even though they did lose some like members, it was just like Clockwork and Hazza just did not die. They're just simply living, which was
Yeah.
enough.
I think Clockwork can kind of get away with that with the Junkrat, just because like it's extra mobility.
Yeah.
But very, very, very fun map to watch.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see more from them.
Yeah. Great series. And that does mean that they are going to be moving on in the tournament. And they are going to be facing whoever wins Synth Lotus versus Duckling Crossing. Should be very interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're gonna end it there. Was quite a long series. I think longer than we expected. Being such a back and forth one. So we're gonna end it there. Thank you all again for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to follow us on Twitch and on YouTube to get the latest updates, and join the Discord server if you'd like to discuss how great Clockwork is at Junkrat. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time.